Have you ever sat alone at 3 in the morning, phone in hand, desperately searching for an answer to something that had been breaking you for weeks, not looking for a solution, just looking for a name, just trying to understand what is happening to the person I love? This is the night everything changed for Sarah. And maybe, just maybe, it will change something for you too. It was 3:14 in the morning. Sarah was sitting on her kitchen floor, back against the cabinet, knees pulled to her chest, laptop open on the floor in front of her. The apartment was quiet, the kind of quiet that feels like it is pressing down on you. She had not slept properly in 6 days. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Alex lying on that couch, empty, hollow, gone. She had tried everything she knew as a nurse: patience, presence, food, gentle questions, silence. Nothing reached him. So tonight she did the only thing she had left. She opened her laptop and started typing. She typed, "Why does someone go from extremely happy and energetic to completely empty and silent?" The results came back. She scrolled, clicked, read, scrolled more. She typed extreme mood swings in relationships. She typed partners spending thousands of dollars then crashing. She typed person extremely loving then completely cold, no reason. And then one phrase kept appearing, over and over, in every result, in every forum, in every story written by people who sounded exactly like her. 2 words: bipolar disorder. She stopped scrolling. She stared at the screen. Her hands went still on the keyboard. She typed it directly this time: bipolar disorder symptoms. And she started to read: manic episode, periods of extreme energy, reduced need for sleep, impulsive spending, grandiose feelings, racing thoughts, intense emotional connection. Sarah read those words and felt her stomach drop. The 3 a.m. voice notes, the $8,000, the flights to Paris and Rome, the 42 texts in one night, the way he said "I love you" on day 5 like he had known her for 20 years. She kept reading. Depressive episode, withdrawal from loved ones, loss of energy, inability to experience pleasure, sleeping excessively, feelings of worthlessness, pushing people away. The dark apartment, the hollow voice, the untouched food. I'm a burden. Just go. Sarah put her hand over her mouth. It was all there. Every single moment. Laid out in clinical words on a screen, but describing her life, her relationship, her Alex with terrifying precision. She had not been losing her mind. She had not been overreacting. She had not been failing him. He was ill. And nobody had told him. And nobody had told her. Sarah sat on that kitchen floor until 5 in the morning, reading everything she could find. About how bipolar disorder works. About what triggers episodes. About how relationships survive it and how they don't. About medications, therapy, the long road to diagnosis. And the more she read, the more she felt 2 things pulling against each other inside her chest. Relief. Because now she had a name for it. Because the monster had a shape. Because this was not her fault and it was not his fault, it was an illness. A real, documented, medical illness. And terror. Because now she knew how hard this was going to be. She had read the statistics. She had read the stories of partners who stayed for years and broke anyway. She had read the words of people who loved someone with bipolar and described it as the most beautiful and the most brutal experience of their lives. She closed the laptop. She sat in the dark for a long time. And then she made a decision. Knowledge is not a cure, but it is the first act of real love. Because before that night Sarah was just surviving, reacting, hurting without understanding why. After that night she chose, with full information, with open eyes. She chose to stay and fight, not for the relationship, but for the person inside it who had no idea he was even sick. But choosing to stay and actually surviving what comes next are two very different things. In the next episode Sarah confronts Alex. She tells him what she found, and his reaction will be the last thing you expect. Episode 5 Is this love or is this illness? If this story made you think of someone, share it with them. Silently. Without explanation. Sometimes the right story reaches people in ways that words cannot. I'm Guru Ashok. And this is Bipolar.